We find any excuse whatsoever to celebrate. And for those of you that didn't know, on July 4th, you might have been celebrating America, but we were celebrating Jeff Haslam. Happy birthday, Jeff. Woo!
Hey, guys.
Or belated birthday.
Thank you.
I had a hat ready and I forgot. Happy birthday.
Nuts. And Derek didn't have a hat.
He lost his stuff.
I had a little noisemaker and I had like a little party hat, and then I frantically looked around the house and I was trying to find it, and then I went to my backpack and I go, he's getting a bucket hat. So that's what that's why it looks so good. It holds its
Looks like on Golden Pond. You're my knight in shining armor.
Looked like that lady from the Hee Haw show that had that price tag on her hat.
Yes.
Was it Mini Pro? All right, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Hurts my head. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Birthday ever.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the DVC Show. I'm your host, Paul Krieger. Amy doesn't know what to do with the party hat after she's taken it off. That's my wife, Amy Krieger.
Hello.
We've got John Sakari, Big Fat Panda, with us.
Excited to be back. Thank you.
We've got senior sales associate for the DVC resale market, Derek DeBoer.
Hey now, happy Monday, everybody. And in the honor of Panda's grand return, I've got my famous Trapper Keeper shirt on just for him and for Jeff's birthday. So it's a 1-2 punch. It's
birthday
exciting.
boy himself, 25 years young, Jeff Haslam.
Yeah, this has been the weirdest birthday ever. Thanks, everybody.
Well, hey, everybody. How are we doing? We got the whole band back together for once. It's nice.
Woo! Yes.
Panda,
Awesome.
how you doing?
You guys have been everywhere.
I've been through the ringer. My dental stuff is coming to an end. I still got like 3 more visits, but I heard your show where you were like, I would not come on and smile with the way I looked. It was kind of, I shocked myself. I broke a few mirrors.
Well, we're happy you're back. Everyone was asking about you in the comments, and yeah, we're all here. And we're talking news this week. Although I feel like it's kind of like news, minor level news or mid-level news. There's nothing really super exciting that is on the docket, but I think all of us have a couple things to say about all these topics. So if you've been living in a hole or a cave and not paid attention to what's been going on in the DVC space or the Disney space for a while, some of this might be interesting to you. At least our opinions should be. Before we get into it, this and all of our DVC fan content is brought to you by the world of DVC, DVC Resale Market, where you can buy and sell a Disney Vacation Club contract, Monera Financial, who will help in that. What are you doing, Derek?
On the world of DVC logo on my hat.
You know I put an overlay over this whole section, and yet you still always put things up on the screen. Monera Financial, who will assist in financing that DVC resale contract purchase. The DVC rental store, where you can try before you buy, rent some points, or rent out your own points for some cash. And Unlocked Magic, where you can get discounted Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando tickets, as well as discounted party tickets, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and soon Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and I think Jollywood Nights. I was at least asked to provide some photos of Jollywood Nights, so I assume that's why I was asked for that. So those are going to be discounted on unlockedmagic.com/DVC fan. There you go. Any other props you got, Derek?
Yeah, I think I found a picture of Panda before he got his teeth fixed.
Oh, God.
What in the world is that?
That's from Stranger Things, isn't it?
I have multiple questions. Like,
toys.
why does Derek have it?
I have everything on my desk. I've got this. It's like a Buddha Chewbacca. I have that one.
I'm glad. Thank you for sparing me, Derek, because you could have said that reminded me of you. Of me.
See, look how svelte the Demigorgon is. See, Panda, that's you.
I am so glad I don't have my glasses on. I can't see any of this.
You are.
The Buddha Chewbacca is kind of cool. Let us see that again.
See, look how cool that is.
That
I
is
apologize in
hysterical.
advance for the audio listeners out there. If you do go on Spotify, I do upload a video version of the show. I don't know if anyone watches it that way, but there you go. Well, you get to see all the fun behind the scenes stuff. All right, are we done?
Yep, that's it.
All
Good
right,
show.
we'll see you next Monday. That'll be good.
Happy birthday,
Good night,
Jeff.
everyone.
First piece of news I wanted to touch on is something that we did a live stream a couple weeks ago on. It is kind of the rental update. Many of you probably are aware by now that Disney Vacation Club did update some policies related to renting DVC points. The big thing that I think is worth noting here is that all that has changed is there's a little checkbox when you actually book a reservation online that says, do you agree that this reservation is for personal use, and agree to the terms and conditions. The same question is asked if you are booking on the phone or if you are modifying a reservation or making any changes to a reservation in the online chat. Outside of that, nothing has changed. And I think the big takeaway that most people need to understand is that renting DVC points is still fully allowed. All of the governing documents that you are given when you actually become a Disney Vacation Club member, none of those have changed. So they are specifically cracking down on what they call commercial renting. If you go on Facebook groups or other online communities and you see all of these spec reservations for sale, those are the individuals, those types of members. That's really what Disney Vacation Club has targeted this. And no updates have been really provided since that live stream that I did several weeks ago. So go back, watch that live stream if you have other questions regarding the rental updates that have happened. But for the average person that is renting out some points that they're not going to use year after year, nothing has changed, and if there is more information to report, we will definitely let you know. I know this community really hasn't had an opportunity to chime in on any of that. Any thoughts or comments?
I just want to kind of drive home the fact that DVC is giving us two definitions that they haven't really clearly defined all of them, but we have personal use and commercial use. If you are not someone who is renting an excess amount of points, then you are renting personal use. It is not commercial use. Paul and I, we rent some of our points probably every year because
to cover some of the annual dues.
To cover some of our annual dues. We own Grand Californian points, and we don't always get to go out to Grand Californian, but you have to own there if you want to stay there. But you know what? We get it out there like every other year, maybe every 3 years. So in the meantime, we rent those points when we can't use them. Or if we're taking a cruise, sometimes we rent our points to put towards other vacations, which is the flexibility of DVC. We are not commercial renters. We are personal use, renting our points, for the things that we need so that we don't lose value in them. So I think that's important to drive home that is personal use.
Yeah.
Well, and I just wanted to chime in too, because I think there was a lot of miscommunication when this first went out. And in true Disney fashion, they like to do a drive-by. They'll just drop information and then, run it past and then never say anything about it again, right? But there was a lot of people in the Facebook group wondering, what's going to happen to DVC Rental Store? Oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. I think it's important for people to note that DVC Rental Store is not like sitting on a bunch of points that they're renting out. They're a broker in essence, just like a real estate broker. They're matching somebody that has points with somebody that needs points. They're not just like sitting on 2,000 points, renting them to whoever wants them.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're the middleman. They're making sure that the everything goes smoothly, that everybody's protected on both sides, that the reservations are made and not changed, and that the dues are actually paid so that the reservation doesn't get canceled, all those kinds of things. And I think that was a big misconception for people, in our community, in our group.
Yeah, I agree. They're an intermediary instead of, the actual renter.
And I gave this disclaimer on the actual live stream that we did, but again, I work for DVC Rental Store. I am the member relations manager for DVC Rental Store. So I do have a vested interest in all of this, and I do understand a lot about renting. So we are approaching it from that mindset. I did not pay Amy to say nice things. I might have paid Jeff to say nice things. You never know. But, I think do your research, realize the risk associated with it if you think there is one. But there's so many communities out there that have been talking about this, and the general takeaway has just been like, yeah, it's nothing new. There are some bad players in this market. Honestly, one that, Jeff, to your point, gives some of these intermediaries a bad name.
Sure.
One of the best kind of summaries of that I've heard is Len Testa and Jim Hill. If you listen to the Disney Dish podcast, Len did a deep dive when all of this came out. And he said, there are people that are doing this the correct way. And he used DVC Rental Store for an example. And he talked about spec reservations, confirmed reservations. So for DVC Rental Store, we view confirmed reservations as you have no other option, or you have a stay booked and it's last minute and you're trying to rent out that stay, or you've decided that you cannot travel on that. We allow members to list their confirmed reservations with us, but we do specifically advise them that it should fall into one of these brackets. If you are doing it for another reason, then that's really outside of the realm of why you should be booking what we would call a confirmed reservation. So anyhow, Len Testa did a summary, and I think at the time we had somewhere between 200 to 300 confirmed reservations listed. There is another rental company out there, I'm not going to use their name, but there's another rental company that has somewhere near 7 times as many confirmed reservations out there. In my opinion, that does go against what renting your points is supposed to be, because you're taking active inventory away from other members that actually want to stay in those rooms. The last thing I'll say, and then I'll let Panda or Derek chime in if they have anything to say about it, but those of you that have historically complained about this impacting the ability to book a vacation, I don't want to sit here and sort of say, set an unreasonable expectation for you. I don't think that's going to change, even if they do continue to crack down on this. Those hard to get rooms or those hard to get times are always going to be hard. And that is regardless of what is happening in the rental market. So while I think, yes, it contributes to it, and I think hopefully there is a little bit of a crackdown on these large scale commercial renters, that, outside of that, it's still going to be challenging to get those specific rooms.
At the end of the day, DVC is designed to be at 100% capacity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can hear myself echoing, and this makes me sound worse. It's designed to be 100% capacity, and they sell exactly the amount of points that they have. You know what I mean? They have this many rooms and this many points per night, and they add that up, and that's exactly what they sell, that many points. So it's 100%, a sold out resort is 100% of the points have been sold. And so members are going to use those points, and they're not going to lose their value for them.
Yep.
Yes. And I think so, which is, Paul, I'm so glad that you mentioned that too, that it's not like people are going to see a huge change. It's not like people are going to go online at 7 months out with their Saratoga Springs points and say, oh my God, I was able to get the first week of December at Copper Creek. It was so easy for me to be able to get that. It's not like that's going to happen. Even if you own those resorts, those reservations are still important for you to get on at that, 11-month mark, if that's when you want to go. So it's not like it's just everything's going to open up and Boardwalk's going to be easy to get during Food and Wine Festival and Beach Club's going to be so much easier. It's not. But I think it's important to note that, even since this announcement's happened, I've had folks that fell into just about every single bucket, Paul, and have zero issues. Whether they went to go, Paul, Derek, I have a reservation that we can't take. Can the DVC rental store help me? Boom. They were able to help them. There was no issues. There was no questions asked. I've had people then have to make a reservation that they weren't able to go with their family, but they were able to send another family member or a friend to be able to book it. They were not going to be there. there was zero issues when they were doing that. So whether they were being compensated or whether they were, just making a reservation for friends and family, I've had zero people tell me that they've had any issues whatsoever.
Yeah. And in terms of all of this, we will continue to kind of update you along the way if there are any substantial changes. If Disney does crack down on any of these commercial renters, I'm sure we will hear about it on the DVC Fan Facebook group or Disboards or other online communities. And it is something that we're monitoring closely. But for most people, and this is the other thing that I always say, is that we are a very educated, small corner of the Disney Vacation Club space. We represent only maybe 5% of all members, if that. Most members aren't even thinking about this. Most people are probably listening to this show and going, I didn't even know anything changed. I always just click the box and don't read about it, or I just say yes if someone asks me a question about terms and conditions.
What's funny, Paul, and everybody here, I'm sorry, I used to work for a competing company, Filming Rooms, and I remember like every 2 years, and I worked for them for quite a while, there's something would come out from Disney to make people worried, and it was never anything. It was just like this, where it was kind of like Jeff said, they do a drive-by and, see what happens, but...
Yep. Well, and if you're in any position like Derek and I, like, who has points left over to rent anyway? I mean, come on.
Right.
That's what cracks me up as I sit here waiting till October 1st so I can borrow from October 1st of 2026. Waiting. It's like a national holiday in my house that October 1st, boom, I'm borrowing from 2026.
That's awesome.
I had 2 points to bank, too.
Hey,
really?
2. I don't know how.
And for anyone out there thinking that I can help you rent the 2 points that you're going to lose in 3 months, I cannot. I'm sorry. Just let them go, like Elsa. Just let it go. You can't do anything with 2 points unless you bank them, and then you could use them next year. So, good call, Panda.
I think you can get a cabin.
You might be able to get a cabin. Yeah. Moving on, speaking of cabins, we're moving to Fort Wilderness with the next piece of news, which came out of nowhere, but we know that they've been doing a lot of construction over there recently, and that is that a new pool is being constructed over at Fort Wilderness. This will actually be next to the Meadow swimming pool, and I'm not sure if essentially they're expanding this area or if they're just going to do kind of a swap and replace. I would kind of lean towards expansion, but they are actively working on this as we speak. It is going to be a 0 entry pool. There's going to be some expanded deck space along the existing Meadow swimming pool. So that answers my question right there. If I'd read my own article, maybe I'd know more. But a big question that's come up about this is, what does that relate to Disney Vacation Club members? What does that impact DVC members that own at the Fort Wilderness cabins? And I think it's worth mentioning that when we did all of our research on Fort Wilderness about a year ago or 2 years ago at this point, when it was first being talked about, we found out that the other pool that is at Fort Wilderness is actually the pool that was rolled into the DVC Association. Mm-hmm. So this is actually, I forget the other pool's name.
It's smaller.
Yeah, I forget. It does have a specific name. The Wilderness Swimming Pool, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And it is a smaller pool. It is closer to the cabins, but that is actually part of the DVC Association at Fort Wilderness. The Meadow swimming pool area is more of a universal product for those staying at the cabins, those staying in a camper, those staying at the campgrounds, all of those resort amenities. But it does raise the question, why are they building another pool here? Because you could argue the capacity of the resort has not changed. Go ahead, Panda.
No, you think they're doing it because of the new resort that's coming with that amazing pool, and they just want to give somebody something over here?
So that you can not be staring over the fence at the amazing pool and just be like, oh, we gave you this. Here you go. It was a peace offering.
Yeah. Just a little, yeah.
So Lakeshore Lodge, I think, is the question mark when it comes to why they are doing this. There are questions being asked. is Lakeshore Lodge going to be rolled into that Palmetto Trust, that association or trust group that the cabins were the first resort to be rolled into? And if they put that in with the cabins, then does two things. First, it shares the amenities across both properties. It gives you that same 7 to 11 month at both Lakeshore Lodge and at the Fort Wilderness Cabins. The biggest benefit, though, is annual dues. It would hopefully significantly decrease the annual dues for Fort Wilderness Cabins, which I think would really help with sales overall of this area, because we know that Fort Wilderness Cabin sales have struggled, and Lakeshore Lodge is a large resort. It should be able to absorb a lot of annual dues, and by bundling those two together, I think it helps both. It's just they complement each other very well. Leaving them separate, Panda, to your point, then yes, Fort Wilderness is going to be like the ugly stepchild of Lakeshore Lodge next door. And I don't know that a new pool even helps that, but curious on your guys' thoughts.
Well, I said when they first announced this, the Fort Wilderness as becoming DVC, I think I said something along the lines of, all they're doing is replacing the mobile homes. They're not adding any additional pools or infrastructure or some of those things to give it that deluxe, feel that we're used to in a DVC villa. So I think as long as the pool is nice, like you said, the one that is part of the association is really, really small, but it's kind of like the treehouse pool. It's there as an afterthought. If they actually build a feature pool, I think that's going to probably help a little bit. I mean, it's not going to knock the sales out of the park by any means, but it needed something a little extra, something a little DVC pizzazzy, a little, I don't know if 0 entry is enough, but
no,
at least it's something, I guess, is what the bottom line ends up being.
If you heard that grumbling no in the background, that was Derek.
I forgot how sensitive these mics are.
So you said no. Why?
No, I just think they have to make this part of the same association. So when they go to start selling Lakeshore Lodge, that, hey, I own Lakeshore Lodge. I can also book one of these cabins. I can also book a regular room at, Lakeshore Lodge, a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, whatever it is that they're having. I have access to all the pools at both resorts, all the amenities at both resorts. I think if they literally just sell, okay, here's Lakeshore Lodge, or you could buy one of the cabins, one of the trailers next door. I just can't fathom. I mean, those things don't sell now, let alone if you put up a beautiful, which looks huge. I keep seeing people post pictures of this place, and I'm like, my God, I forget how big Lakeshore Lodge is going to be. No one's going to buy the cabins, like ever. No one will ever buy them. But I think if you add them to Lakeshore Lodge, I think it gives Lakeshore Lodge even an extra little, oomph. Like, hey, you have these beautiful state-of-the-art, typical DVC accommodations. But hey, if you want to rough it a little bit and go sleep in the swampy marsh with Panda, then you could book one of the cabins. So that, to me, they have to make it the same association. They have to.
No, I agree.
Does it take away from the swampiness? Does it take away?
No, the death and destruction is still there. And you can be nice and cozy in your cabin and look out and watch all of it happen.
Let's be honest. We're talking about a lot of amenities that, as far as I know, the cabins don't have. Fitness center. Is there even a freestyle machine to refill your refillable mug anywhere over there? I have no idea.
There is.
There's a lot of these DVC that we're used to that the cabins just, you can only put lipstick on a pig so much.
It's so muddy and swampy, you really don't need the fitness center. I mean, your thighs are getting the workout just walking around the marsh.
Yeah.
Jeff, have you been in one yet?
No, but Summerfest in a month from tomorrow.
I want to know your thoughts after Summerfest.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of DVC Summerfest, August 8th through the 10th. That is coming up real fast. Less than a month from when this airs, we will actually be celebrating Summerfest. We are going to be doing kind of a monorail bar crawl, so to say, on Friday night. So if you're in the area, make sure you head to the DVC fan Facebook group so that you get all of the information on where we're going to be when. And then on Saturday, we will be doing a live stream from the cabins. No one can attend the live stream. There's a capacity limit to our cabins. So we will all be in a cabin and we will go live and share it with you all that can't join us that day. And then later that day, we are actually doing a group Hoop-de-Doo event. And just want to say huge shout out to our DVC fan Patreon community and for everyone that bought tickets to that event. We had 50 tickets available. We sold them out in 2 days. We didn't even get to kind of a general registration because so many people were interested in joining us for that. So we're going to meet up a little bit before that event and hang out, have some drinks, and then we're going to enjoy Hoop-de-Doo on Saturday. Sunday, we've got an exclusive meetup for our Patreon community that morning, and then we're going to be in Magic Kingdom for the rest of the day, just kind of hanging out and taking in all of the sights of Magic Kingdom, having some fun. So hope to see you there for Summerfest. And then also, if you can't make us for that, Oktoberfest is coming, October 17th through the 19th, and that will be at Disney's Old Key Jeff Resort, and we're going to have some fun. I actually just ended a phone call a couple hours ago about talking about some fun events that we can do for that, some exclusive opportunities. So nothing to announce yet, but there's some stuff in the work, some cool stuff.
And while we're talking about this, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you're going to want to tune into that live show. Jeff might have a new surprise to share. With Derek?
Are you talking about? Oh, I think I know what you're saying.
You have no idea.
I know.
You have absolutely no idea.
He mentioned something to me when we went out with us and our lovely better halves to Universal City Walk to go see a comedian. And we were out. We had a great time. It was so much fun. And I think he said like 37 times, like, you're not going to believe what I have. You're not going to believe what I have.
Is Nikki Glazier coming to the event?
Yeah, she's
Can we spread that on social media, please? We'd get so many more people. That'd be great.
Yeah. There's no Hoop-de-Doo ticket for Nikki. Sorry, sold out.
I got us a golf cart, by the way. Well, Amy did because she waited on hold with Disney to get us a golf cart.
Yeah, the 6-seaters were sold out.
Yeah. So Panda, we're going to strap you to the roof in a chair, and you're just going to...
I totally forgot even do
like
that.
Aunt Edna from Vacation.
There might still be 4-seaters available. The 6-seaters are definitely gone, Jeff, and you'll be reprimanded on the phone verbally for not booking sooner.
They did tell me that.
I better call tomorrow.
Don't worry, we'll just ride you back and forth. We'll just be like
we're gonna shuttle.
It'll be a shuttle to wherever we're headed. It'll just take us an hour to get there because I'll have to drive back and forth 3 times, but we'll make it there. Anyhow, yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a good time. I don't even know what this show is about anymore. We're still on Fort Wilderness, and we're like 35 minutes into the show. Hey, when does Test Track reopen? Probably by the time this show goes live. It actually is reopening on July 22nd. Cast member previews have been ongoing. Annual pass holder previews are coming up. Actually, they will have started by the time this has gone up, and Jeff will have rode Test Track by the time this has gone up. And
Panda has already
for annual pass holders on Sunday. So
yeah.
Panda, I rode it yesterday. Yeah, no spoilers. I will say it's the best version of the ride so far, in my opinion. I expected a little bit more based on how long it was down, but I like it. I'm happy with what I saw. I just don't want to spoil anything for the spoiling people. Did you ride it, Derek?
No, absolutely not. I have not done it. But the day that the first YouTube videos popped up,
of course,
I was down. So I watched every one of those YouTube videos. I, again, will not give any spoilers out, but I can tell you as long as you set your expectations, and I think this is what Panda's problem was, the ride track itself has not changed at all. So it's still the same.
But I expected animatronics. That's what I expected because of World of Motion. So.
Yeah, I know.
And you did hear about the crash, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a big deal, but it was, it was cool.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about it without giving away any spoilers. But
I have not watched anything.
I think it looks great. I still prefer, I think, of Test Track, the first version out of all of them. I like this one. The middle one you could completely do away with. The last one, the Tron, with the bad video game lighting.
Yes,
on the walls.
terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was terrible. So I think this one is a huge improvement with a little bit of the mix of the world of motion and actual physical sets, which made me excited to see. Versus, screens and all that. There was actual physical sets, which is cool. So,
Panda, am I correct that we no longer build our own car as part of this new version?
Correct. And you know what? It's not missed at all, or at least by me, because it didn't matter. You built it and you were excited about it, and it didn't matter. So I'm glad they got rid of that.
Down the line, because people wanted to finish their cars before they got on the thing. I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's blue or yellow. Your car is the same car as everybody else's.
See, I went through it once totally, and then didn't do it for years. But it's still that one that I did was always linked to my Magic Band. So if I touched it right before I got on, I always had this really old car that I designed 6 or 7 years ago. It was great.
I mean, it was fun, and some people are going to miss that. Kids, I think, are going to miss the creation, but it was a bottleneck.
But once you did it, just like Jeff said, once you did it once and then you went back, it's like having to watch the 3 Guardians pre-shows. You're like, oh god,
yes,
again,
yes,
designing a car, and you're doing your finger over the screen, and you're picking up 18 different diseases from everybody on the screen. Okay, I'm done. No more.
It's gross. I don't like touching the screens.
Yeah. All right. Well, new Test Track. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you've had the opportunity to ride it, we have not ridden it. We will be on it maybe in a few weeks, maybe once it opens. I don't know. We don't really have plans to go.
Do we think? So I was looking at the dates that they allowed for DVC and for annual pass holders, and they specifically blocked out the one day that Moonlight Magic happens to be at Epcot. That is not any previews at all that day for anybody. Mm-hmm. Do we think they'll open it for Moonlight Magic for DVC?
That would be a nice gesture.
That would be a very nice thing. Yeah.
We have no inside information, but that would be cool.
Are you going? You'll have to report back.
I will.
Yeah.
So can I give you a spoiler on the queue or no?
Yes.
Sure.
Queue's fine.
We don't care.
Okay, do you know when you're in Pinocchio Village House and you can look down and see It's a Small World?
Yeah.
You can see the boat go through. So now when you're in the first part of the queue, you see the cars in the window and the people are all waving down as they're ready to make their ascension up the first part of the ride.
Cool.
I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And everybody's waving, so you had that connection with the people up there to wave to them. I like that.
What about the exit? Is it still a showroom and video games and all that stuff?
Right now, there's a huge curtain, so it looks like there's still going to be merchandise, and I think that we still saw the showroom. So the showroom is cool, but there's a merchandise place that's covered.
Are they upgrading it to used car sales? And Derek, that's going to be where you're stationed, or?
Yeah, exactly.
With your gold tooth?
I was going to say that.
Well, that's Test Track for you. Let's move on to other cars. I feel like I've ordered these perfectly with segues. Other cars. More details have been announced for the new cars area coming to Magic Kingdom. The biggest detail is that the area is now closed and under construction. Jeff, as of recording this, you were there last night to say goodbye to the Rivers of America. How was it? Was it busy?
It was great, and we did a little video to kind of say goodbye, so that'll be going up here whenever Paul decides he wants to send it. But so real quick, for me, I can count the number of times that I made the journey over to Tom Sawyer Island, and it's on one hand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
At the same time, there were a lot of people that were going over there, both on the riverboat and on the island, that definitely had an emotional connection. Some people were dressed up as Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn and just all in for the experience. I think it is going to be missed by a lot of people, especially those with kids. Like I said, I could take it or leave it. I think that space could be better utilized. But I keep going back to Amy and I were discussing this on the way home. I hate it that at Disney World, with all this land, they have to get rid of something to give us something new. I'm excited for Cars Land, and I'm excited for the changes. I really do hope that it's more of a Pandora, like it melds with the area, rather than a Toy Story Land that just is kind of there. You know, they really need to make sure that they meld this with the surroundings. So I'm always excited for the future. I'm excited for new things, but it's definitely a change to the skyline that we've known for 50 years, you know? So it's going to be interesting to see. But when I got up this morning and looked at the app, and it's now just grass on the app with no Rivers of America, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Don't you love this new concept art that at least has some water?
I do.
Least there's a
I'm
creek?
excited about it, for sure.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
were
they didn't have
definitely
that
some
water on the
changes.
left-hand side in the beginning. And I don't know if that's because they couldn't get the approval without it, or was people just made them put that back. But I love that there's some water now.
Well, and
But
you have
I
to
think it
imagine-
looks even cooler that it's not just water. Like, it's cascading water, and it looks like there's guys shooting up.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
waterfalls. It's like multi-level water. which
Yes,
I think it's going to be
yes.
one of these things where, yes, I mean, Jeff nailed it perfectly, is that you will miss that feeling and hearing the horn, like you'll miss hearing that, like not being there.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be one of these things when it's done and it's up and people's mouths drop open and they go,
Yeah.
like, I think it's going to fit in seamlessly. So I think it's going to look great. I didn't really understand the first rendering that came out when it was first announced.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? It doesn't make any sense. But this new one, that picture, it looks dope.
I agree.
It looks awesome.
Well,
There
and
is
quick,
a
I just want
show
to say
building.
One more thing, and then I'll stop talking about it. About the closing day. I think the people that are bothered the most, fans aside, are the cast members that work that island. So we went over and did the Barrel Bridge, and for the first time in 50 years, the lady even said there was a 10-minute line to walk across the bridge the final time. Like, the thing wrapped all the way down to like the fort. But I was talking to the cast member that was standing there, and she goes, I have worked this attraction for 12 years, and it's my home. And I don't know where I'm going to be stationed next, but I'm going to miss it. And so that kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, because
I
They
heard they're
love it.
keeping the barrel.
Yeah.
I heard they're keeping a barrel bridge somewhere, and it's in the concept art if you zoom in.
Really?
If I see it again, I might be able to. You want to put it up real quick just to see if I can find it? I know it was there. And somebody said, look, the barrel bridge is still being put somewhere. And I was like, wow, that's great. Yeah, if you let me see. I know it was in the last concept art. If you look closely, you'll find it somewhere. In any event, I heard they're keeping a barrel bridge on it.
I
Somewhere.
think Jeff said it perfect too. Is that I think honestly, like, people that will miss it are people with little kids. And I say that just because I watched a lot of those videos recently from Tom Sawyer Island, and you just see it was the best place to kind of escape the crowds if you have little kids, like, to go over there and just to have them run around and just go nuts and climb and burn off some energy. I will always have a memory of my kids who are, again, now we're 20 and 16. When they were super, super young, we sat and we played, I think, 3 games of checkers, right? We sat and just played checkers, like 3 games in a row. And that's a memory that they still talk about. So, yeah, I think for people with little kids are going to miss it. But then again, once you see this stuff that Paul's showing on the screen, you'd be like, I don't want to play checkers. I want to go on that ride.
Well, and Tatum said the same thing when we told her we were going to go take video of the closing. She's like, I remember playing hide and seek on that when we were little.
Oh,
See?
And this is how the kind of week that we've had is you had those pictures up, and I myself was trying to zoom in myself on my own screen. Like, it doesn't work that way.
it might be this piece that looks like behind this piece. There's like a barrel bridge here, I think.
I'm not going to get overly.
It was cool to
excited
go
by-
say goodbye. I'm not super heartbroken about it, but I can see why people are. So
I think the boat is what I miss the most. I hope that they put that somewhere, or it goes somewhere that is special. Like, could they put it in Seven Seas Lagoon in some capacity? Is it seaworthy enough to actually be in there? I don't know, but it would be cool to just see that thing, like the olden days of Seven Seas Lagoon, when you know, just have that. Don't even put people on it. Just have it just randomly just sailing across and
Just have it out there rusting.
well, move it every once in a while. Don't turn it into Grand Yacht 1, which basically lost its motor during COVID, and then they never could get it started again. They just pulled the whole thing out. So don't do that to it. But
I heard it was going to be the new splash. I heard it was going to be the new splash pad at Fort Wilderness Cabins until the lawyers got involved. So,
or could you park it right outside of Grand Floridian and put a restaurant in it and make it something cool?
That'd be cool.
Could you tie that into Grand Floridian somehow? I don't know.
Or just keep it docked over on that side and make it a Tiana restaurant.
They did that in Disney Springs with the seafood place, pretty much.
Then they changed it. They got rid of it. Fulton's. That was a gem. We used to love that.
Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah, the seafood tower was the best. I was reading through the concept information that was recently received on Piston Peak, as we're calling it, Piston Peak National Park. Derek, you mentioned the geysers. Do you know what they're called? Old Tankful. Old Tankful.
I like that.
And then the first original Cars character, which is coming, Ranger J Autobahn.
Huh?
That about sums it up. Yep. So, more information coming on Cars Land. We'll see it.
Rumors about the ride itself are very positive. That it has a show building, that there are many levels, and that excites me. I like things that go inside, outside, up, down, around. It looks like it's going to be pretty major. So I'm happy about that.
I just need, as long as they include this character, which my friend Marissa got me many years ago, because I always complained, there's never a Disney character with the name Derek in it. And she, for my birthday many, many years ago, happened to find this. This is the very famous Derek Williams from Cars. True fact.
And they spell it the right way, too, for you. Wow.
And they spelled it the right way. So as
I
long
thought it was going to
as
be D-E-R-I-C-K.
Yeah. Oh, none of that D-E-R-I-C-K nonsense. No, it's D-E-R-E-K. Derek Williams. And as long as he can spin around Old Tankful and Autobahn Gary or whatever his name is.
Autobahn Gary. He will forever be known as at this point.
Do you remember the
back on
Derek
the rails,
character?
man.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I don't recall that at all.
Is it
I don't
real from the movie?
Maybe it was from one of the spin-offs.
Real, it's got like all the like actual stuff on the back, so I don't think it's like a make your own Funko thing. I think it was the character. It was very
that was a
powerful.
throwback.
Yeah.
Well, let's move away from Cars now and talk about Disney Vacation Club trying to copy Summerfest, which is Welcome Home Weeks, which were started last year after we announced Summerfest and did our fun summer things. You know, maybe they stole the idea. Who knows? But if you are going to be at any of the Disney Vacation Club properties or at Walt Disney World this summer, there is such a long list of things that they are doing that are little special events that is part of the Welcome Home Weeks that they are doing. These start August 14th and run to September 16th. Couple highlights that I always like to point out: quick service dining discount. So you get to have one mobile order that gives you a 20% off quick service dining discount. That's always, for me, one of the biggest benefits, and one that I don't know why it doesn't exist the rest of the year, but is always a big one, I think, for families as part of Welcome Home Weeks. There's some other stuff like treat stops, special character meet and greets. There's a wine mixer. I mentioned the characters. Everglazed Donuts is doing some special things this year with a special Welcome Home Week donut that they give out on certain dates. DVCfan.com, you can find a full laundry list of all the Welcome Home Weeks things.
Did they do that 20% quick service last year?
They did.
Did we not use it?
We did.
What? Oh, I don't remember. So is there a certain time frame, and is it automatically just added to your quick service order?
Supposed to be.
So if you get one, is it one per person that's a member, or one discount per membership?
I don't work there.
This is my favorite. I love it when
you would
Amy
think
grills
per
all about
order.
things.
I know.
Paul's
These are
on
the
spot.
important questions.
Sandwiches excluded.
Select quick service dining locations at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, August 14th through the 16th. Members eligible for membership extras.
Oh, so it's just 2 days.
The discount, no, that's a month.
August 14th through August 16th?
September 16th.
Oh, okay. You said August 14th through 16th.
Oh, sorry. Go to the website and there's details.
At this point, I would recommend getting your news from literally anybody else right now.
I don't even know what's happening right now.
I'm just excited about the discount.
They're doing the table service 40% off as well.
Oh, see, now that's exciting too.
It is available Mondays through Thursdays. So we can go back to Hollywood and wine.
Here, let me get my goggles on so I can see what
I don't know why I said wine.
Oh,
Maybe
it is
because
the
I need some
same
right
restaurant.
I think you need some wine.
now. Yeah.
So it's basically the same restaurants as the annual pass one, but the dates are different. That's cool.
Yeah.
We can go get turkey dinner at the Diamond Horseshoe.
Sign me up. Love a good turkey dinner.
40% off. Can't beat that.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Tell me about this wine mixer. Is it like Catalina?
Catalina wine mixer?
Listen, my boss, when I said we were going to Catalina Island, which we stopped at earlier this month, was like, is it the wine mixer? And I was like, what? And he had to explain to me. And then I noticed when we posted our pictures in Catalina, like 10 people asked me about the wine mixer. So I found a poster at Catalina that said we had just missed the wine mixer. It was like the week before we were there.
Wow.
So, what is the movie that it's
Step
from?
Brothers.
Step
Brothers.
Brothers. That's it. We missed it by a week.
If you're around Catalina and asking about welcome home weeks for DVC, they're not there. It's at Disneyland. It is 2 days, August 27th and September 10th from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Grand Californian Hotel in the Brizza Courtyard.
Wait, there's one at the Rainbow Reef at Alani?
There is. There's more dates for that. August 20th,
All right, I'll
August
go
27th,
check that one out if you guys
September
want to send
3rd,
me. I'll go.
September 10th.
Thanks, Jeff. You'll take one for the team.
I am very giving in that way.
Okay. So there's no wine mixer for us Floridians. We'll have to have our own.
I love this one. Complimentary reusable shopping bag available if you stop by the Gateway to Discovery Welcome Home Center at Disney Springs or the Golden Vine House at Disney California Adventure Park. That place is never open, though, so don't try to get in.
Plastic bag? A plastic bag?
We've not seen it yet, but, we can
Could be
call
the
it
best bag ever.
It's not plastic
It's
because they
as
don't
bad
have
as-
those in California. It's a canvas bag.
I am excited about this. They did announce that they're going to do some open houses at Copper Creek for the newly refurbished rooms.
Oh, that's cool.
So the dates to be determined. That's all I have for you
They
right
have
now.
a room first.
Yeah. They do. There are a couple rooms finished so far. I've seen a couple pictures, some of the refurbishment stuffs, and only to get away from the topic that we are on, we are going to fully segue into this because I have refurbishment updates on my agenda for tonight. So let's just move away from welcome home weeks, please. The Copper Creek refurbishment is underway at the moment. They are adding Murphy beds as part of this. This is a soft goods refurbishment, so don't expect everything to change, just some smaller things. And as part of most soft goods refurbishments, they are adding the Murphy beds. I will add a little caveat there because it does look like there are certain rooms similar to Boulder Ridge that cannot accommodate the Murphy bed. So there have been a couple pictures that have emerged of, I think, a 2-bedroom at least that I've seen that they did not get the Murphy bed in there, probably because of the ceiling shape. You name it. There's going to be reasons why in certain rooms they can't fit it in.
And that's the case at every resort. There are some rooms at Vero Beach that don't have them because the placement of a window, the shape of a wall, the pitch of the roof. So you just have to know that
To the window.
there's some really.
No, stop
There's-
right there.
Yeah,
Stop right there.
please. There are some really oddly shaped rooms in DVC. Are we good?
I don't.
We are.
It's I have a question. It's been a couple years since I stayed at Copper, but I've seen some people make online comments about that have seen some of these things that are going on, and they're all like, oh my God, hopefully less beige. Was there a lot of beige in the Copper Creek rooms? I don't remember
liked
that.
it.
Beige is like that complaint that everyone has right now, and I don't understand it. Like, what other color would you like him to paint? Like bright red, orange, chartreuse?
Right. You're at a wilderness themed resort.
Do you
like
even
beige.
know what
Chartreuse
is?
No.
I personally think they should take Panda and Derek's shirts and use those patterns for the walls.
Look at us.
The Trapper Keeper and the jungle.
This looks like freshly cut grass, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there is some beige. I have always loved the Copper Creek rooms. I think that some of the furniture there is absolutely, spot on in terms of the theming. Yeah. I love the dresser because there's like different size drawers and every drawer. Yeah, the artwork there. I have no complaints about Copper Creek, and I just hope that the Murphy bed gets just as much love and theming as Boulder Ridge has, because if you compare it to what they did at Grand Californian, they didn't even slap any artwork on the outside of that, and that doesn't fly.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of members reaching out to us, asking us, will you please say something about the Grand Cal refurbishment? And Paul did put out a couple of articles, saying, is this it? Is there going to be more? Are there delays? Why isn't it finished? But we wanted to fully wait. I'm going to take this out really quickly so I can hear better. We wanted to fully wait until we stayed there so that we knew for sure, like exactly what it looked like. It is done, right? I'm pretty sure it's
correct. It is fully
finished.
completed.
It's fully completed. There was no construction going on. We just stayed earlier this month for a little bit. And yeah, it's disappointing. So some of the things that you would expect, even bare minimum from a soft goods refurb, and this was a hard goods. This was not a soft goods refurb. And we knew that, a lot of you knew that Grand Cal was in desperate need of a refurb. It was getting very dated. A lot of the furniture was getting very old and scratched up, and the carpet was worn. And if you look back on the DVC Fan YouTube, you can see the tour that we did back in, 2022, and it just looks rough. So it was very, very much needed. But with that said, it's now done, and it felt more like a soft goods refurb. They replaced the couch, the pull-out couch, with a Murphy bed, but there's no artwork on it except for inside. They replaced the floor and put in a rug, and that was it, right, Paul? The bathroom remains completely unchanged. The kitchenette remains completely unchanged. The furniture, the coffee table, the dresser, the end tables, the bed, all the same scratched up furniture that was there before. So as an owner of Grand Cal, like, I can see the frustration there of why did we get basically the lowest end of a hard goods refurb that was possible. And I don't know the answer to that. It's very disappointing.
I've not done a deep dive in terms of the numbers, but something that I would love to get an answer to is, you look at all of these resorts have a refurbishment reserve. So money from your annual dues goes into a budget to actually refurbish these rooms. Now, the cost to refurbish these rooms typically is far above and beyond whatever that is. Mm-hmm. So Disney does cover a portion of these refurbishments, but a large aspect of them are paid by member dues. I would love to compare Bay Lake Tower, what their reserve was before their refurbishment and what their reserve was after the refurbishment, and see basically the cost per room breakdown of what they did to those rooms compared to Grand California. Now, you could argue construction costs are maybe a little bit higher in California. You could argue multiple different things. But what you can't get around is that they gutted those Bay Lake Tower rooms, and at Grand Californian, I left this picture up on purpose because we are here in 2025, and what did they do for extra charging? They put in an iHome device. I think I was in...
We were in college. When we had an iHome.
When iHomes came, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is so like 2009, I guess, is when we were in college. But why are you laughing?
Do you have an iHome?
Because I hear that the laser disc player they installed is really, really cool.
Well, and even to that, where's my kitchenette picture that I had? Look at this. They didn't even spring for a new coffee pot. We got old Mr. Coffee. Where'd he go?
Right there.
There he is. Okay, bring him into the show. Boom. Look at that.
Everybody's getting Keurigs. Yeah. And we had to unplug it to have charging.
This microwave that was there is lettering at the bottom of the microwave that is like wearing off. Like that microwave has been there for a long time. That tile is just, I don't know.
70s. It looks like the 70s.
Yeah.
My grandma had carpet that color.
It looks like a fresh roll of paper towel. I mean, that's
got that going for us. So.
We did. And I'm not saying the room looks terrible, but I'm just really surprised that they didn't at least replace some of those furniture pieces, among other things. The bathtub, the shower, the tile work, that's all the same. We did do a room tour. It has not come out yet, but it will be in the future, and we show you everything, explain what changed, what didn't, and all the details. So
really excited for the condo association meeting in December when they are grilled about this refurbishment. So go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, and it only highlights it when it's right next to the brand new shiny Disneyland Hotel villas, which I stayed at for the first time, which are amazing. They're so pretty on the inside, and the Grand Cal is kind of like the Grand Flow out here. It's supposed to be like the big one out in Disneyland, and I would be angry if I owned there.
Well,
I would be angry if I used my points there and had a busted coffee table from 1972.
And my question is that intentional? Are they intentionally underdoing this renovation to sell more Disneyland hotels? I know that's saying a lot, but I wouldn't be shocked. Because, Derek, I wrote in the average price blog in the Rofer report, resale market, I think, sold 5 Grand Cal contracts in June. And how many got Rofered? 5. So they are buying back Grand Cal, which means that I would assume that those sales agents are just constantly having this discussion of like, I like this one more.
It's the same thing like we talked about on a previous show, and I know you did like a blog about it too, where it's the same thing at the Polynesian, right? So they're touring the Polynesian, they look around, they show them the Polynesian rooms, but then they look over at the Grand Floridian and go, what about that? I want to buy that instead. Can I buy that instead? And that's why they're buying back Grand Floridian contracts. So again, you want your newest product to be like the most beautiful girl at the prom, not like, whoa, who's she? Is she seeing anybody? I think I want to go with her instead. And then maybe once you get up close and you're like, oh, that's a nasty coffee table you got. So then you might not
what kind of date is Derek going on?
Wow,
it's been a while since he's been in the dating pool. You don't know what things were like back then.
But yeah, that's a perfect point. Because again, I'm sure a lot of people go, oh well, I would love it. So can I use my Disneyland points to stay at the Grand Cal? Of course they're going to say yes at 7 months out without telling them, well, if that's really where you want to stay, you got to own points here. Oh, really? Can I own points here? And then you're down to Grand Cal wormhole. So, yeah.
Last things I'll say about refurbishment real quick, because I know some people are wondering about them. Animal Kingdom Lodge. We know that construction permits have been filed, and they should hopefully be starting work on those this fall. So that is when the Kidani portion of the refurbishment, full hard goods refurbishment, is starting. We have not gotten any real news. There was 1 or 2 construction permits for specific treehouse villas at Saratoga Springs, but we've not seen any massive permits filed. Those are due to be refurbished this year. Not really heard anything about those just yet. And then Bay Lake Tower. Bay Lake is what I would say probably around 75% complete. It is fully on track. Please do not let any of those clickbaity news articles out there tell you that it's delayed for another year. Though, don't even get me started. Nothing affected the refurbishment of Bay Lake Tower. That is scheduled still to be completed in September or October of this year. Other amenity refurbishments around Bay Lake Tower or around Contemporary in general, yes, those have been pushed out a little bit further. But the room refurbishment, it looks to be fully on schedule, and I would say that you have a good 75% chance at this point of getting a refurbished room. Unless you are really unlucky, then don't gamble and stay somewhere else and wait until next year for your Bay Lake Tower. But the refurbishment is
what's
beautiful.
the schedule for Jumbo House? Was that on a show that I missed? Because I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, so Jumbo is actually early 2026. So they will finish Kidani fully and then move to Jumbo. I think that's just because they can do more of the rooms at Kidani. That entire building is all DVC. When they move to Jumbo House, they're only affecting 2 floors worth of rooms. So that I think
just
it's the
need
thought
it
process there.
so bad. Yeah.
They both do.
They
but-
both do, and it'll be interesting to see
Yeah, I
what
haven't
direction
seen
they
the
go in.
today.
Hopefully, not any tan colors because people with pitchforks will be after them. So chartreuse, please, thank you.
Chartreuse. Magenta.
Any colors, I guess. Last but not least on this list tonight, the new Disney Starlight Parade is scheduled to begin here very, very soon. We are super excited. I think a lot of us have Park Pass reservations for the night that it starts. It is going to debut on July 20th, 2025. I know Jeff's going to be there. I know we're going to be there. I don't know about Derek or Panda. Panda's going to be there. Yes. Okay.
I won't be there. That's the night we're at Epic Universe.
Oh, yeah, we knew that.
Oh.
I'm really bummed. In fact, I thought about leaving Epic to come down and watch it, but that's just silly.
No, don't do that. That's just silly.
That is silly. Yeah. The parade will always happen.
No spoilers. I have cast member friends that have seen the floats backstage, and they're telling me they look fantastic. So I am hopeful.
That's good to hear because I feel like Disney is being very quiet about it. And normally when Disney's quiet about something, that does not bode well for it. It's like when you have a movie like Elio that's going to flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also heard the music is fantastic. So I'm still hopeful that maybe they don't know what they got.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're excited to see it. Last on our news list is something that I don't know that many of us had an opportunity to see yet, but the new shows at Hollywood Studios. Jeff, you were just there this week, weren't you?
Yeah. When I found out that we were filming them or talking about this, I made Amy run over this week. I landed in Utah on my birthday, and I'm like, come on, we got work to do. So we did a video about that too, about the new Voyage of the Little Mermaid show and Villains Unhappily Ever After.
No spoilers.
Quick thoughts.
Initial thoughts.
I know that this group in this room is not the demographic for Villains. It's not. This is a show geared for kids. I loved it. I thought it was great. Aww. So no curmudgeon on my shoulder today. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it not scary? Absolutely not. Is it a win for the people that they're going after? 100%. It gives young children an introduction to these villains that they might not otherwise get. So I think the theater is gorgeous. I think the special effects that they do and the screens I think it's great. I'm not going to go to it every time, but I'm not the one that's supposed to be going to it every time. So I'll call it a win.
Wow.
The Little Mermaid I didn't feel like it was that different than the one before. It's fine, but there's one weird thing about the villain show. It's weird to me now where Disney is drawing the line between face characters and costumed characters. Because as long as Disney's been around, Captain Hook has been a costume character, and so is Jafar. And now to have them be face characters with makeup on is very unnerving. But I thought it was a good show. It was good.
One of my favorite childhood memories is going to the Aladdin breakfast, which I think was at Hollywood Studios.
Oh my God. Yes.
And so it was a character breakfast, and the characters come around, and I have an autograph book somewhere that has Jafar's signature. And Jeff, to your point, not only was he a face character, but he had fake hands. He had these fake plastic hands.
Yes.
And the hand was like this.
Wait, he was a face character or a costume?
He was costumed. He was fully costumed. Okay. So he had a full thing on and then fake hands. The hands are what we're going to emphasize. Because I had him sign an autograph, and the hand can't hold a pen. So he dropped the pen like 5 times, and he has to sign autographs like moving his whole arm rather than moving the hand. And this is like the childhood memory that is ingrained in my head.
Paul, do you remember a big staircase with the lamp at the top with some special effects?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure my memory, because I do remember that. That was a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I loved the character breakfast, and I was a huge Aladdin kid growing up, so plastic hands. There you go.
Yes. I'm going to go online and order Jafar's plastic hands for Summerfest just so I can freak people out.
So that you can sign
When
autographs.
When Jafar's walking in the parade, you can see those hands, and you could see how they are completely, prosthetics. They're great, though.
Derek's going to be eating fried chicken with this prosthetic hand at Hoop-de-Doo. Really hope you get called up on stage for that. That'll be great. Well, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the DVC Show. I think we have discussed no news way too much because none of this should have been talked about for an hour, but somehow we talked about it for an hour and 10 minutes, basically. So let us know your thoughts on these topics or any other news going on in the Disney and DVC space. We read your comments. We respond to your comments. We love your comments. And if it's something where you hate us about something, you can guarantee that Derek's going to send it to us because we love those as well. So, but that's going to do it for this week's episode of the DVC Show. Hey, Jeff, happy birthday. And we will see you all
Jeff.
next Monday.